And good evening, everybody, and welcome here to the final race of the regular season here for Season 8 of the NNSCRA Snickers Cup Series. We are live from Arizona Speedway, the track that we come to most of the time now to put together our field for the chase for the championship. And coming into this race, we've run 19 races, 16 different race winners. So right now, all 16 of those chase spots are filled. However, only 15 of those drivers come in guaranteed a spot in this season's chase for the championship. The one driver that's going to really be on pins and needles here tonight is James Qualls. And that's because James Qualls is the last of the drivers in points that has a win this season, 39th in the standings. Now, what needs to happen for Qualls is exactly what happened last week. Last week, a former winner this season went to victory lane in the form of Trent Dunham. If another former winner goes to victory lane here tonight, James Qualls will make his way into the chase for the championship. However, if somebody ahead of James Qualls, even if it's somebody that's 36th in points, he would end up being eliminated from the chase for the championship. So James Qualls is going to be a big fan of all the former winners this season, hoping that they're going to get to victory lane either for their second, third, or, in Trent Dunham's case, potentially fourth time this season, so that way he can make his way into the chase for the championship. Will that happen tonight, or will James Qualls be replaced by somebody as a last-minute driver in this season's chase for the championship? The drivers that are going to make the chase that we already know, as far as it looks for the outlook of the season's chase for the championship, include Sean Galligan, 2 wins this season. Trent Dunham just picked up his 3rd win of the season last week at Watkins Glen. Former champions John Cittadino, Sean Henley, Jacob Lawler. Also, Dylan Young, going to be making his first ever Snickers Cup Series chase. Dylan Poteet, looking for his 2nd championship in NNSCRA, his first of the Snickers Cup Series. Joshua Michaels, Cole Daly. Also, Joshua Collard, representing Mitsubishi Lancer in the chase for the championship. Levi McIntyre, and also rookies Nathan Hudson and Makoto Iguchi, the Daytona 500 winner, and also Michael Norman, who, if he wasn't running right now as far ahead of James Qualls as he is, Michael Norman could have found himself in the same situation tonight that James Qualls finds himself in tonight. So that's the drivers that we have lined up for. Oh, I also forgot Jessica Shelton as well. I was looking through the stands and missed the name. So that is the list of drivers that we have right now that are going to be in the chase for the championship. The question is, though, will James Qualls be joining them? We're going to get these cars rolling off, though. Makoto Iguchi, the Daytona 500 winner, going to line up on the pole alongside of Brandon Gonzalez, who would love to get Mitsubishi Lancer to victory lane for the 2nd time this season. Cody Lamas lines up in 3rd. He is one of 3 of the Hendrick Daly Motorsports drivers who haven't yet been to victory lane. Daly and Lawler are the only 2 that have. And William Duncan also trying to see if he can maybe put both the young Duncan Motorsports cars in the chase for the championship if he could win here tonight. It's going to be interesting because these drivers, any one of these drivers that is not a former winner this season, with the possible exception of Cody Lamas, Isaac Canepa, and Zach Buchanan, are going to, if they win this race, make their way into the chase for the championship because they would be running further ahead than James Qualls in the point standings. You got to wonder if maybe James Qualls might go for broke here tonight. Why not try and get up there, win a 2nd race of the season? This track is kind of similar to Kansas. Not really, but it has some similarities to it. And that's where Qualls picked up his win this season, was at Kansas. So will we see Qualls be aggressive and try and get up here to the front? I don't know, but we're about to get underway in the final regular season race. Green flag is out, 41 laps here at Arizona. And Makoto timed that jump perfectly, going to move to the lead. Cody Lamas now going to take 2nd away from Brandon Gonzalez, who's caught on that high side. Duncan now moves into 3rd. We'll be keeping tabs on James Qualls during the course of the night. The good news for him right now is a former winner is out in front. Makoto Iguchi, the winner of the Daytona 500. As long as a driver that has won this season is out in front, James Qualls' hopes of making the chase remain alive. Levi McIntyre moving underneath William Duncan for 3rd. A host of Fords up here, 3 of them inside the top 4 right now. The only non-Ford is the Chevy Camaro of Cody Lamas, currently in that runner-up position. Makoto Gucci's actually really come to life in the last couple of weeks, and the caution flag is actually out now, just as I was going to make a point. So Makoto will lead us under the first yellow of the evening. And we'll see who this involved. And, oh man, it involved Jake Rogers, who started, if I'm not mistaken, in the either the 4th or the 6th position. He was right up in row 2 or row 3 on the outside line. He's involved. James Silverfox is in it. Zach Buchanan's been collected. He's had a great number of starts the past couple of weeks. Dylan Young has been collected. You know, Dylan Young will be in the chase. Kyle Corbett's involved. Looks like Tanner Sullivan was in it. Another future chaser in Joshua Collard has been collected. Joshua Michaels, another driver that we know is going to make chases in it. Chris Washer's got damage. Looks like Sean Henley may have some damage on the left side. Dylan Poteet's got damage. Ralph Mason's involved. Megan Atkins. Michael Norman. Wow, this was a big wreck. Ashley LaPlante. Oh, and there's James Qualls. He has damage on the hood of his Ford Travel Chevy Camaro. That is not what he needed. Not at all. Gas and go there for Danny Wells. Let's see if any of these other drivers up here at the front are going to go with gas and go. Some drivers actually stayed out. Gas and go for Lamas. Gas and go for McIntyre. Gonzalez with a gas and go stop. They're getting it completely packed full of fuel, though. And a number of drivers decided to stay out. 5 of them to be exact. Deguchi, Jackson, Kyle Matthews, and then Cole Daly and Sean Galligan. So some strategy being played out here early at Arizona. But this looked like it was a huge wreck. So let's jump back and see what happened. And this one going to be started by Jacob Lawler. Lawler got a bit of a run there on the 19 coming out of 2, but he gets into Jake Rogers' left rear. And then Rogers gets turned down into James Silverfox. Both of them come up the racetrack. And this is where it's not going to get so good. There you see Lawler actually got a big chunk of that. So did Michael Norman. Trent Dunham's going to get held up behind this. He gets a little piece of it right down into Zach Buchanan. Goes the 19 machine. Gets airborne. And then they just all start stacking up trying to find a way through. Sanford, Chris Washer, Tanner Sullivan. There you see Dylan Young nowhere to go. Collard gets jacked up by Joshua Michaels. Corbett and Dylan Poteet get into Silverfox further up. Dougie Shears does a nice job getting through that wreckage. John Cittadino gets a piece of it in the 72. Megan Atkins, Anthony McCurry. Jessica Shelton looks like she got a piece of it. She got into Sullivan. Ian Dutta, I think, got involved. I don't think there was really any driver here that didn't really get through, didn't get some kind of damage from this. We saw Sanford there on the inside, there in the grass. He spun. Henley, I don't know if Henley got involved or not. He might have come to a dead stop. But I thought I did see some left side damage on his Silver Pfizer Ford. Not completely certain, though. There's Zach Buchanan. Had some great runs in his last couple of weeks, making his return to Snickers Cup. But looks like he will not get a good run here tonight at Arizona. There's Silverfox. There's Rogers. We know they were both running right up near the front of the field. They were, I think, just outside the top 10 when they crossed the stripe last time by. And there's Dylan Young's machine. Dylan Young third in points, even though it really isn't going to matter here after tonight with the points being reset. But no doubt about it, Dylan Young wanted to have some positive momentum heading into the chase. That's for certain. So that's what put us under the caution. Big pileup starting in turn 2 and ending all the way over into a big pileup in turn 3. Let's head back now for the restarters. I think there may be a couple of our future chasers who will not be continuing tonight's event. So we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. Top 5 did not come to pit road. Everybody else that did come to pit road for the most part ended up just going with a gas and go stop. So I don't know if tire wear here is not too bad, or if they just felt it was so early on they didn't have to worry about losing track position in order to take on Goodyear Eagles. But whatever the case, Makoto Gucci is still the leader. Charles Jackson moves up to 2nd, Kyle Matthews in 3rd, Cole Daly in 4th, and Sean Galligan 5th. Those drivers did not pit. First off the pit road was Cody Lamas. He'll restart 6th. 7th is Levi McIntyre. 8th, Joshua Balkowitz. Brandon Gonzalez 9th, and Noah Hart runs in 10th. 11th is Trent Dunham. 12th, William Duncan. Danny Wells 13th. 14th, Harrison Langford. John Cittadino 15th. Rest of the top 20 are James McLeod, Ashley LaPlante, Bob Jones, Isaac Canepa, and Charles Sanford. So move back up to Makoto Gucci. We'll take a look at the drivers that have retired from this race after what we saw, and they include Kyle Corbett, James Silverfox, Jake Rogers, Ralph Mason, and then also future chasers Joshua Collard, Joshua Michaels, Dylan Young, and then also the BMW of Zach Buchanan. So we'll get ready to go back to green here with Makoto Gucci out in front. And that's a tough break there for Ralph Mason. He's been having such a strong season, but his season and his hopes of making the chase are going to come to an end. You know, that's one interesting thing too, because so many drivers are having such consistent seasons. They're running so well in points, but they're not going to get into this chase regardless of how good their season has been if they don't win tonight. James McLeod is the highest running of the non-winners this season in points. He is 4th in overall standings right now. Charles Sanford, he's 5th in overall standings, and Harrison Langford is 8th. They've been so consistent this season, but unless they have a win, they are not going to make the chase for the championship. So you can bet that they're going to be going all out here tonight, trying to utilize whatever strategy they can to get themselves a victory and get themselves into the chase. As things kind of split up here at the front, Makoto Iguchi and Cole Daly have kind of broken away. Cody Lamas now with Joshua Balkowitz side by side for that 3rd position. Let's find where James Qualls is running right now. He's there currently in 29th. They were able to get the hood pushed down a bit there. He's continuing on. He's right here at the tail end of this lead pack. He's got to run a lot better than 29th now. Oh man, oh careful. Chris Washer going to turn Anthony McCurry up into the wall, and somehow they hung on to it. But that might be a caution. No, it's not. That's not a caution, but Washer just turned McCurry into the fence, and that's going to cost both of them. Both of them were damaged. They made contact, but somehow they hung on to it. We are still green. You'll see as Makoto Iguchi comes out of this corner, there's the skid marks right there where Anthony McCurry was slid up the racetrack. He hit the wall, but he kept it going. McCurry 11th in the point standings. He's not going to make the chase. Matter of fact, right now, the way it stands, Audi is not going to be making the chase at all this season. McCurry represented for Audi last season, so did Noah Hart, but this season, neither Hart nor McCurry have been able to get to victory lane. Neither have the rest of the Audis in Tanner Sullivan or even the Pontiac out of Cowtech Racing of Ralph Mason. McCurry coming into this race was the highest running of the Audis in points, in 11th. Next highest was Noah Hart, all the way down in 25th, and he had Tanner Sullivan in 30th and James Silverfox in 35th. Right now, though, Makoto Iguchi is James Qualls' best friend. If he can continue to lead the way, James Qualls will be in the chase for the championship. Cole Daly, another former winner, lined up right there in 2nd. So right now, things looking good for the ML Racing Chevy Camaro of James Qualls. He's just got to hope that no former winners, no non-winners this season get up there, are able to challenge and take that lead away and that victory away. Right now, Joshua Balkowitz has moved into 3rd, Brandon Gonzalez into 4th. Those two would be a threat to the 70 making the chase for the championship. But right now, it is Makoto Iguchi still leading the way. And going back to my point, and hopefully a caution flag's not going to pop out while I'm saying this, Makoto Iguchi has actually really been on a good momentum streak as of late. It basically started back at the road course of Tres Riveras. But Makoto started off the season winning the Daytona 500 and then was as far down as the low 30s in the following few weeks. It's like they won the Daytona 500 and then the wheels just fell off the wagon. But now in the past few weeks, Makoto Iguchi's been very consistent again. That's definitely what Makoto needs heading into her first chase for the championship. And she has moved herself up to 21st in the point standings coming into tonight's race. So been very good, and right now out in front and leading. Another thing we haven't seen Makoto do in quite a long time. Right behind her, she's got a teammate. Joshua Balkowitz has now moved into the 2nd position. So Rogers V8 Performance Motorsports currently running 1-2, and here come the Fords again. They're running first and second, now third and fifth, with McIntyre in third and William Duncan completing the top five. Brandon Gonzalez's Mitsubishi is breaking that up in the fourth position. Here comes another rookie, and Isaac Canepa coming up through the top five now, bypassing William Duncan for what would be the fifth position. Canepa would love to be able to put a second representative into the chase for the championship for Sega Motorsports. His teammate Trent Dunham's already been to victory lane 3 times this season, including last week at Watkins Glen. And Canepa comes in 41st in the point standings, though. That's the interesting thing, is would he end up finishing farther ahead of James Qualls to be able to get that final transfer spot? With where he's running right now, Qualls would have to be running 21st or worse. Where is Qualls running at the current moment? He's running in 23rd. So if Canepa could get up there, win the race, and Qualls finishes where he is, then Canepa would take that final spot in the chase from James Qualls. Right now, Qualls running by himself, John Cedino behind him. We know that those two got a piece of that only caution flag we've had. And so they are not completely up to speed. They're running pretty good lap times, but they're not running nearly as fast as the drivers that were not involved, including this current leader, Makoto Iguchi. Makoto's times have actually fallen off a little bit. Fastest lap for Makoto was in the 28.3s, right now running in the low 29s. Actually, that time was about a tenth slower, even more. And there is Levi McIntyre, who ran an even slower lap, but he is now up to second as he and Brandon Gonzalez go to second and third, bypassing Joshua Balkowitz. Now Canepa making the move on the 91, and Cody Lamas is right there as well. Cody Lamas actually comes in only 1 point behind James Qualls as Makoto Iguchi peels off onto pit road rather. So pit stop's taking place here. Remember that Makoto Iguchi had not come to pit road under that caution flag. So Koto was about maybe 6 laps short on fuel as opposed to these other drivers. Looks like they're saying Michael Norman's coming to pit road too. We know Kyle Matthews is in, Cole Daly, Sean Galligan. So those are the drivers that didn't pit beforehand. Qualls is actually on the pit lane now too. And I don't know if Charles Jackson got boxed out of pit road or what, but here he comes. Okay, he's coming with Tanner Sullivan and Ian Dutta. I was going to say, I know he has to pit at some point here. He was another of those drivers that had stayed out. And it looks like McIntyre may be coming to pit road now. So apparently staying out, getting that track position, worked out pretty much in the favor of Cole Daly and Makoto Iguchi, because now, only about 2 laps after they pit, come all the leaders that had pitted under that caution flag back on lap number 5. So we'll see how this thing cycles back around. Levi McIntyre, looks like they're going to go with 4 tire stops on all these drivers. Looks like it's going to basically come down between Makoto Iguchi and Levi McIntyre as to who's going to have the fastest pit stop and who's going to cycle around as the leader. Makoto had a good lead on Levi McIntyre before the pit stops began. Let's see if he'll have a good lead this time as McIntyre leaves pit road. We're watching for the Stanley Tools Ford of Makoto Iguchi. See if Makoto's going to make a pass coming here out of turn number 2. And here comes Makoto Iguchi, and Makoto did not catch up here, so McIntyre comes out here as the leader, I do believe, but Makoto's getting a run and is closing in, so McIntyre didn't get completely away, and here comes Makoto Iguchi now, picking up the tailwind off the 60, and now here comes Makoto, getting ready to battle for the lead once again, going to move to the inside line, is there to the left rear, and will probably complete the pass coming here into turn 3 out of turn 4. So McIntyre at least going to be able to keep Makoto Iguchi close, but was not able to hang on to the lead for very long. Makoto Iguchi is going to cross the stripe, and I believe now has cycled around as the leader once again of this race. No, not yet. I believe Isaac Canepa stayed out an extra lap. He did. He was scored as the leader, and Michael Norman was scored in second, but I saw Canepa actually just coming off pit road. So this lap around, it should cycle back to Makoto Iguchi being the leader of this race. Waiting for the monitored update, and indeed that is the case. As a matter of fact, Makoto almost ran almost tied her fastest lap of the race. Fastest lap was a 28.311. This time was a 28.316. So that just shows you what fresh rubber does for your lap times. As now they're going to encounter some slower machines. Dylan Poteet going to go a lap down. He was damaged in that earlier incident, now catching up on the car of Jacob Lawler. Makoto going to move to the high side to get around the 5. A little bit of monkey see, monkey do for Levi McIntyre, but McIntyre was not able to make the move on Lawler. So now there is a lap machine between Makoto Iguchi and Levi McIntyre. Now McIntyre going to go low to go by the Farmers Insurance Chevy Camaro. So as far as cutting their way through lap traffic, Makoto Iguchi doing a much better job of it than Levi McIntyre is. And why don't we give you a rundown, at least, of the top 10 here after the cycle of pit stops. Makoto Iguchi is the leader, Levi McIntyre is second, Brandon Gonzalez is in third. There's Kyle Matthews, moving by Dylan Poteet, he is in fourth. Fifth is Sean Galligan. Harrison Langford runs in sixth. Seventh is Cole Daly. Isaac Canepa is in eighth. James Qualls has worked his way up to the 9th position, so don't count him out yet. 10th place right now is James McLeod. Then you got Tanner Sullivan 11th, 12th William Duncan. Nathan Hudson's now all of a sudden up to 13th. We haven't talked about him. 14th is Dougie Shears, and teammate Jessica Shelton rounds out the top 15. Rest of the top 20 are going to be Charles Jackson, Sean Henley, Danny Wells, Cody Lamas, and Trent Dunham. And the battle's on for the lead. Levi McIntyre has caught Makoto Iguchi. Now he's going to make a challenge for the top position, but was not able to get to the inside left rear. Makoto's going to hang on at least for now, and Brandon Gonzalez hoping these drivers are going to continue to battle for the lead here, because that could help him close in, make it a 3-person fight for the lead. And I say 3-person instead of 3-man fight because Makoto Iguchi is, of course, a female. Levi McIntyre, I don't know if it's that he can't make a move or he's just sizing up the 9. Now he'll try again, coming down to the stripe. Can he get to the inside? This time he's made it. This time he was to the left rear, and he will be on the inside heading here into turn number 1. Moves on by. Makoto seemed to acquiesce very quickly there, giving Levi McIntyre the spot. Maybe not such a bad idea. You don't want to use up your equipment trying to battle somebody on the high side and then have nothing for him if you're able to run him down again. So Makoto Iguchi giving the lead over to Levi McIntyre. Right now, as far as James Qualls is concerned, he doesn't care if the 60 goes victory lane or the 9, just as long as it's one of those two. If Brandon Gonzalez gets up there and tries battling for the lead, then that could be a bit of a problem for James. But right now, things are looking good for James Qualls, as both Levi McIntyre and Makoto Iguchi looking for their second win of the season. Neither one of them have been to victory lane since races 1 and 2 of the season. Makoto Iguchi won race 1, the Daytona 500. Levi McIntyre won race 2 at Rockingham, UK. It's been quite a drought for these drivers since they have been to victory lane last. And also on the line are 3 extra bonus points for winning this race once the chase points in that new chase system is reset. McIntyre, though, continues to lead, and the laps are ticking down. This time by, when they hit the stripe, it's going to be 8 laps to go. And Makoto Iguchi seems to have, I don't know if it's that she can't run down Levi McIntyre, or if she's just riding, waiting for a moment to pounce. She's keeping Levi McIntyre within striking distance, but she's not closing up the gap on McIntyre at all. The gap continues to maintain somewhere about 5-6 car lengths. As now Levi McIntyre comes up on the 76, his teammate out of Heavy Metal Motorsports, rookie Zachary Fitzwater. And you got to think Fitzwater's going to, well, I thought he was going to let his teammate by, but no, not going to let him by here. almost kind of blocked him there on the front straightaway, and now McIntyre will get to the inside line. Now will Zachary Fitzwater play defense for his teammate, trying to hold up Makoto Iguchi. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to have any opportunity. Makoto went down about 4 lanes lower, coming out of 2, and will easily make the pass on Fitzwater, who now will fall a lap down. Right now, the thing that's the best friend of Levi McIntyre are these laps ticking away as quickly as they are. He needs them to tick away a little bit faster, though, because Makoto Iguchi is there with an opportunity to be able to get there to the back bumper of that 60 machine and make a move. Some more cars up ahead, I'm hearing. Not certain if they're up to speed or slow. They may be encountered before this race is over, though, and could play a big factor into who's going to win this race. 5 to go at the line. Levi McIntyre out of Heavy Metal Motorsports. Makoto Iguchi out of Rogers V8 Performance Motorsports. 2 Fords that have been to victory lane this season already, looking for their second wins of the season. Will McIntyre be able to maintain his distance and hang on? Will Makoto be able to run him down? Right now, the good look for James Qualls, because Brandon Gonzalez is quite a ways back. He would have to challenge Makoto Iguchi for second before he could even concentrate on running down McIntyre for the lead, and I don't think there's enough time to do it. So right now, barring any problems for the 60 and the 9, James Qualls right now looks like he would make his way into the chase for the championship. As Levi McIntyre coming up now on the damaged machine of Anthony McCurry, who had that tremendous save, which spared us from going under our second caution of the evening. He's now going to fall a lap down as McIntyre gets to his inside. Just ahead is the 33 of Megan Atkins. McCurry is actually damaged, but he's not exactly way off the pace. Saw how he kind of hung with McIntyre there coming out at 2. And now there is a lap machine between Levi McIntyre and Makoto Iguchi. And that just means Makoto Iguchi has got her concentration split now between having to pass the 61 and catch the 60. Now McIntyre would love to have another lap car between himself and Makoto. Now moves to the inside of Megan Atkins. 2 to go. Time is running out. I think McIntyre is going to be able to hang on to this thing, because Makoto Iguchi not only would have to run down Levi McIntyre, but has to pass 2 lap cars. Working right now on McCurry, but has Megan Atkins just ahead. And the white flag is being displayed this time. Levi McIntyre hasn't been to victory lane for what would now be a total of 18 races. Trying to pick up what would be his second win of the season. You think about how this team started out the season coming in with basically nothing. It was 3 cars, 3 drivers, McIntyre, Hudson, and Fitzwater. McIntyre went to victory lane early on. Nathan Hudson followed up with a win, but they're going to have a 2-time winner in their team this season. Levi McIntyre wins here at Arizona. 3 extra bonus points for him in the chase for the championship, and that means that James Qualls is going to survive, and he's going to make his way into the chase for the championship. What a couple of weeks it's been for that 70 team. So close to near elimination, but Trent Dunham wins at Watkins Glen, Levi McIntyre wins at Arizona, and that's the ticket to punch James Qualls into this season's Snickers Cup Series chase for the championship. So James Qualls will be one of 3 rookies representing in this season's chase. Levi McIntyre joins Sean Galligan as a 2-time winner this season, and becomes the 3rd multiple-time winner this season as well. Trent Dunham with 3 victories. So Heavy Metal Motorsports goes victory lane for the 3rd time this season, 2nd time with Levi McIntyre, and that's going to put Levi McIntyre in a tie for Sean Galligan for 2nd once the chase points are reformatted. So folks, basically everybody who came in as a race winner this season into tonight's race, they are going to be in the chase for the championship. It'll be Galligan, Dunham, Dylan Young, John Cittadino, Sean Henley, Dylan Poteet, Joshua Michaels, Jessica Shelton, Cole Daly, Makoto Iguchi, Jacob Lawler, Joshua Collard, Levi McIntyre, Nathan Hudson, Michael Norman, and James Qualls in this season's chase for the championship. Our first round of the chase goes to Daytona next week. Hope you'll be tuning in for that. we're going to have Last of Us Light Series, Oreo Truck Series, Mobile and Cup Series, and Snickers Cup Series, all coming to you from the high banks of Daytona International Speedway. So hope you'll tune in for that. Certainly going to be a wild one. Hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official full finish results, overall points standings, rookie points, and your reformatted chase points heading into next week. Also, be sure to follow the NNSCRA on social media. Facebook and Twitter links are in the description. As you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best, the chase for the Snickers Cup Series Championship is on. Very quick work. Whoa, look out! Oh, what a save! Dougie Shears just got turned by the lap machine of Charles Sanford, but now he's got left side damage. But he still opens up his distance. He still keeps a distance between himself and second place McCurry. But all that ground he gained, he just lost right there. But what a save!